Hey everybody, Brendan here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be continuing our Semi-Slav speedrun, and we're finally getting a proper Semi-Slav with d4, c4. Or I guess this is a Slav until we play e6. And we're going to be playing against the exchange Slav. Against knight c3, knight c6 is fine, but I think that knight f6 is just better because it avoids any e4 lines. Or if they want to play e4, it's a pawn sacrifice. So bishop to g5, I think we looked at this before, except they had the knight on f3 already. And here they don't, right? So when they had the knight on f3 and I play knight c6, bishop g5, there's knight e4. Here it's even stronger. Knight e4 is a very good move. So takes. If they play e3, this is an immediate blunder because we can actually win the bishop. I think one of the moves here is a3. I think that's the most popular move, where queen d5 is something you'll see, followed by, yeah, so e3 again, there's queen to a5 check, unfortunately. This ends up picking up the bishop on g5. It's a very good tactic to know. We'll end up taking this bad boy. No reason not to, of course. I was considering not taking it, but of course I think we do have to play objective. So I don't want to not do something just to keep the game going. And then we'll play queen h5 and get the queens off. It's always a good idea to trade off the queens whenever you're up material. We're up a piece. So this is all about the consolidation of a piece now. If they give a check, I'm going to play knight to d7, not knight to c6, so they can't ruin my structure. If they go rook to c1, I'm thinking of bishop d6. In fact, I think no matter what, I want to play bishop to d6. This covers c7, so they don't have an entry. And then I want to play king to e7, and then start contesting this file for myself. So g6. Just defend the pawn like this. It's fine to put my pawns on light squares if they have a light squared bishop. We're up a piece, so we're a little bit less worried of those types of things. So king e7, and I'm ready for rook to c8. I could also move my knight, like to d5, something like this, or even to b6 to support a rook coming to c8. I don't think that's silly either. But I'll just start with a rook to c8. If they end up trading, of course I'll take, and I'll be happy about that. I do have an idea now of playing knight b6 okay, so they don't want to trade. So I don't think I want to allow d5. And I could take on h2. But I think I'd rather prevent d5 first. Prevent counterplay and then go for my own play. Like this pawn is not really that valuable. I will eventually take it if they keep leaving it hanging. But it's also annoying to defend, right? Do they want to play rook g2 or rook h1? Probably not. Maybe bring their king over. That makes a little bit more sense, but you know, there's only so much you can do in those situations. I actually don't want to take this pawn because then they get rook b1 and rook b7 in. So I'd rather take this h pawn, despite it maybe not looking as valuable as this b pawn. It's purely just a counterplay thing. So we could play h6 and just see where this rook is going. If they swing over, I've moves like b6. That rook is a little uncomfortable. I'm threatening knight to d5 followed by knight c3. There's a lot of pieces. As you can see, if you just imagine this knight goes to c3 or even goes near it, it looks really scary. We can actually end up taking this piece as well. So we will. Knight to d5. This prevents anything on the d7 square. And knight c3 is a threat. Yeah. So hopefully your guys' Sundays are going well. It's the end of the weekend. As of filming this, I am currently playing a tournament. Not like as I'm filming this, but if you're watching this, like I'm recording this ahead of time because I'm playing a tournament. So hopefully I do well. There's a lot of really strong players. Even though I'm in Canada, one of the bad things about Canadian chess is there's not as many like top players or anything, or like the distribution, I guess you could say, of some of the really strong players is a little bit off, where you don't always get like, I don't know, everyone's super underrated in Canada, I think, and that's kind of an issue because like if I play someone from a different country, if I go somewhere else or play someone online who's like 2000 FIDE, it feels like we're on even terms, even though my FIDE is only like, it's close to like 1700 now. So that's a big disparity there. Anyways, yeah, so this was a interesting game. I say that every time, but that's to keep you interested. And let's check out some stuff here. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a ton of title players playing. There's, I think, 3 or 4 grandmasters playing. Hopefully I can play one. I played an international master in January. We ended up drawing the game. I also beat FM, a FIDE master, in that event as well. And then I think that was it. And then the last event I just did, I drew like 2 CMs, I think, and then lost to another one of them. So like I've been getting okay results against title players now, which is nice to say. So I'm hoping to, I know that if I play a GM, I'm going to get crushed, but it's nice to know that if I play IMs, I actually have like, I offered a draw in a much better position that I shouldn't have offered. You'll see that in time, because I post tournament games once a week. But let's get into this game. So c4, c6, exchanging. So knight c3, knight to f6, and bishop to g5. So knight to e4 is the critical move here. And after knight takes e4, pawn takes e4, a3, I think, is the top move. And the reason why is mainly to combat any queen a5 check or queen d5 stuff. So for example, queen d5 is supposed to be slightly less effective here, even though it actually should be fine. For example, bishop h4, knight to c6. The idea here is e3, e5. And then there's this funky move, knight e2 takes, and knight c3. So this is like a critical variation here that really most Semi-Slav players should really familiarize with themselves with. And having this a3 move in might look pointless, but it's actually really good because, well, now there's no bishop to b4 stuff, so we're not actually able to straight up win a pawn. And the line would go queen to a5, for example. And after e takes, things get really crazy with g5. g5 is the only equalizing move here. Bishop g3, bishop g7. And yeah, maybe I can make a different video on this and maybe show a game. I'm not sure how many master games are in this position. There's actually one, which was a draw, which is surprising because black can easily find themselves to be better here. But yeah, this is actually a very important thing to know. So it's this queen d5 move. If you don't see this when you play knight e4, then you can run into problems just because you do have doubled pawns. So this idea of queen d5 to get out of the pin, as well as to play knight c6 and e5 to get rid of your doubled pawn and trade it off for this d4 pawn is very important. Other than that, yeah, e3 is just a really unfortunate mistake. It would have been nice to see a3, queen d5, and get into something a little funky here. But it's a lot to know, seeing this queen a5. I think my prep, I don't know if I should release my prep because this is tournament stuff. But it goes something along the lines of, no, takes, knight c3, queen a5, ed4, g5, bishop g3, bishop g7. And for example, if you play something like bishop c4, you can actually, I think, castle here. Castles, knight takes d4, knight takes e4, and you actually just give up the g5 pawn. You just go bishop f5 and bishop g6. And you have rook a to c8 coming. Like if knight f3, you can just play rook a to c8 first. This is actually a little bit better than doing any trades, because after this move, then you're threatening moves like bishop to h5 as well. For example, if they play bishop to a2 or something a little silly, then bishop to h5 can run them into a lot of problems where you get your pawn back and you're just better. So this is like very, very theoretical, but it's important to know regardless. Like if you're playing the Semi-Slav, this bishop g5 in this exchange can mess you up if you're not careful. So that's a bit of a theory lesson. Hopefully that was useful. And that's about it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.